all these oil men, none of them are eating out. A Texas fracker turned escort says repression allowed his business to flourish. Mickey says his stint as a handyman transformed to a lucrative sex business due to the region's self-denial. This guy's literally a mother fracker. A Western Texas fracker starring in a podcast about how his attempted moonlighting as a handyman turned into a lucrative sex work, largely solicited by distracted oil industry professionals' housewives, says he believes his region's repressive sexual attitudes gave his side gig an opening to flourish. This is how you use gig economy to one-up the corporate overlords. You're going to make it incredibly difficult for me to make money in this economy. I'm going to have to become my own boss in addition to having multiple jobs. Fine. I'll bang your wife for money. I don't even think these oil men could be mad about it. That's pull yourself up by your bootstraps type stuff right there, isn't it? Ryan Murphy will definitely do a show on this. 100%, William. There's an inherent kind of self-denial. The subject of the Handyman of the West, identified only as Mickey, said in recent interview, "We all have these thoughts, but we lie to ourselves and try to conform to how you're supposed to be, repressing your own pleasure." Mickey said he arrived, so he's basically just going, all these oil men, none of them are eating out, and I'm the only one to do it. Mickey said he arrived at that observation in part from the post-coital talks he's had with many of the adult women in his sliver of the Permian Basin's Midland area, who collectively compensated him in the mid-six figures during his 5-year run escorting amid communities depicted on television shows such as Landman and Friday Night Lights, so rich southern communities. As Mickey put it on the documentary podcast and separately to The Guardian, his path to escorting was circuitous. He had just gotten divorced from a woman to whom he had been married to for 2 decades. He wanted to keep himself occupied as well as earn a little side money during his resting periods between his fracking work, which typically involve 15-hour daily shifts, 2 weeks at a time. Wow, this dude really switched it up in terms of career. So he posted an online advertisement offering his services, hanging shutters, repairing leaky faucets, or completing other such odd jobs. Literally, he's going in the gig economy. He literally was like, my job is not making enough. I'm working 15-hour days, and I need a second job to make ends meet. Mickey is all of us right now. So he posted an online advertisement offering his services, hanging shutters, repairing leaky faucets, and completing other such odd jobs. The rugged, visually appealing Mickey included a picture of himself, thinking it might make potential clients feel safer about hiring a stranger off the internet. Mickey recalled that his first respondent was a woman who was a deacon at her church. She said she would like him to fix shutters at her mansion while her husband was away on an oil rig. Shortly after he arrived, she successfully leaned in for a kiss, and they had sex. Whoa. She paid Mickey $200 despite his not touching a single shutter at her home, and sent him on his way. He said his second client ostensibly summoned him for a similar small household repair, gathering that her husband likewise was away at work. She and Mickey had sex almost immediately after she answered the door in a negligee, and without prompting, she handed him exactly $200 for, he assumed, his performance. Wait, did a text go out or something with the price? Mickey said he has never forgotten how he surmised the first woman recommended him to the second, given they both handed him the exact same amount of money. I knew it. I had no freaking clue that this subculture kind of lifestyle existed, he said, and apparently it's pretty damn prevalent. Yeah, William, he's a menace for sure. As he revisits in the detail on the Handyman of the West, Texas, hosted by Jonathan Walton of the Queen of Con fame, the myriad ensuing experiences have afforded him a financial cushion not many can presume in today's U.S. economy. Dude, so this guy was like, I'm having trouble making ends meet with my 15-hour job. I gotta go hang blinds or something in these houses. And then all of a sudden, the first gig he goes to, he turns into an escort. This absolutely needs to be a Ryan Murphy show, William. Are you kidding me? This could be a film. They have also intermittently thrust him into absurd situations, such as the time a married client's housekeeper walked in on her and Mickey. Quote, "Don't worry, Maria won't say anything." The client assured a panicked Mickey, as he recalled. Holy shit, dude. And they have taught him about himself as much as others. Now, this is where it really becomes a movie. Come on. Not only has he touched them, they have touched him. He gained some insight into his own conservative upbringing, which, to summarize it briefly, largely kept him from being exposed to other bodies. Then, for much of his adult life, he was intimate exclusively with his wife for about 20 years. Therefore, Mickey said it was not until he stumbled into escorting at about age 45 that his client's enthusiastic remarks made him realize he was substantially longer and girthier than average. Yo, this man has been walking around with a giant hog and didn't even know it. Mickey furthermore learned the concept of consensual non-monogamy, explaining that a number of his clients, among them regulars, weren't neglected women married to inattentive men. They were couples who hired Mickey for him to have sex with the wife with the husband's approval. I mean, I'm glad it's all consensual. Not for me. I couldn't. Psychologically, that would damage me. Oh, of those husbands, he admitted that if he were ever to marry, quote, I couldn't put myself in their shoes. Mickey, we just connected on that immediately, Mickey. Come on, we have more in common than I thought. He also said that those encounters bestowed him the main lessons he hopes to offer people interested in keeping their relationships lively, and that is to seek out things together, not necessarily sexually, that there are, quote, out of the norm that give a sense of excitement being heightened and feeling of what's happening right now is crazy. Mickey on the show lets Walton see pictures and videos of him in action that clients captured at their request, in essence a form of verification that his stories are true. He took a moment to consider if he was proverbially flying a little too close to the sun telling his story on a podcast that began airing on the 20th of January and was being planned for a run of about 10 episodes until May. He said he was confident the fact that there were 30,000 or so frackers in his neck of the woods provided him enough cover from either betrayed husbands who would potentially be vengeful or law enforcement in Texas where sex work is illegal. Whoa, Mickey's a bad boy. Whoa. Oh, Mickey. Naughty, naughty. And Mickey also said there were so many people with lives like those of the clients he described on The Handyman of West Texas that he was, quote, not too concerned. He nonetheless said he timed his retirement to coincide with the series' release on platforms such as Apple Podcasts. Obviously, he said, I couldn't keep doing it once this thing became public. I thought to myself, maybe this is a perfect segue into kind of getting it out. Mickey, I'm serious. Come fix my light, please, William. Yo, Mickey is definitely like a real one. Now, obviously, this story has like some huge potential. I honestly think this will turn into a movie. Like, Mickey's got it in the bag for the rest of his life. He can definitely sell the rights to the movie. Mickey is the hero we need in today's turbulent times. Thank you, Mickey, for your services.
What if these thoughts could destroy us?